All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Party Invite Show. This is episode 100 and something. Who knows? Vilos probably knows. But I am not Vilos. I only run the thing. I am your host, Tegan. I'm not the numbers guy. Details, I don't know about that. But our details guy right over here, Vilos himself.
Oh, is that me? Yeah, that's me. Okay.
You know?
2 + 2 = 4. Quick maths.
That's right.
Got it.
Quick math.
And the purple paladin themselves, I just made that up without any consent. I hope you don't hate it. It's Obsydianyte.
I actually love that. Thank you. I love that. I mean, first of all, I love purple. And secondly, I love alliteration. So, I mean, it's perfect. Thank you.
Speaking each other's language. And let's see. So we took a week off last week. We've been alternating for a while now. We've got the format of talking about what we've been playing, which we now call Now Playing, a little more obvious what we're talking about. And then on the other weeks, we talk about a party topic. We deep dive into something. We got a couple suggestions from chat about what we can tackle next week. But if we had had a normal show last week, we would have had plenty to talk about. But now, with an extra week of playing a bunch more things, we are full to bursting with things to talk about. So, before we talk about all the things that we've been playing, first, let's Blissen up a little bit. Let's talk about something that made us smile, something to get us in the mood of, create that upbeat atmosphere that we really pride ourselves on here. I'll start with the high that I've been riding all week. This past weekend, my partner and I went on the hardest and most beautiful hike we've ever been on to Cascade Pass in northern central Washington. And man, I mean, it was absolutely incredible. We went there because the fall colors are really out. The day that we happened to go could not have had better hiking weather. Like, I couldn't have changed anything to make the weather any better. We were wearing the Pacific Northwest dress code, like 3 jackets, extra hats. I had an extra pair of socks I thought I might need in my backpack. I even got to wear my Don't Starve winter hat for the first time. And actually I was looking at the card that came attached to it. There's a digital code on the back, so maybe I'll get a skin for the hat in the game.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool. But I was happy to finally use that thing. I guess I could have showed it to you. Maybe I'll find it before the end of the show. But the hike was so beautiful, y'all. It was the longest hike we've ever been on. It was about 11 miles. We went most of the way up and realized that we knew where our limit was, and if we kept going up all the way, we were going to be really tired when we got down to the bottom. For those of you who don't hike, going back down, so it's a there and back hike. There are there and back hikes and loop hikes. This was a there and back, so you climb, and then you turn around and come all the way down. Coming back down is always faster, but it is almost always harder because you're using a totally different set of muscles, and you're working them very hard. And the faster you go, the harder you're working those muscles. And by the time we finally got back to the parking lot where our car was, I mean, I was about to hit the floor. I mean, I had nothing left in the tank. And I mean, if we had had another mile, I would have been like, you know what? I'm going to sleep under this tree and try not to freeze to death. But it was so beautiful. We saw a black bear on the trail. We saw it 3 different times because it was really close to the trail and people were uncomfortably close to it. But we saw this black bear up on the snowy mountaintop. It was climbing over this hill, and it straight up intentionally belly slid. It reached out its paws and slid on its belly like 10 feet or so, just because. Like, it's not like it needed to do that at all, but it was so cool to see, and I am never going to forget that.
It's like, hey, have you guys ever seen this before?
Dude, for real. And the bear mostly did not care that we were there at all. Like, it obviously knew we were there, but just did not give a heck. Not a single heck was given. So we were hoping to see some wildlife, and I'm so glad that we saw a bear. I've never seen a bear in the wild before. I think I've seen a moose, I've seen buffalo and Yellowstone and stuff, but never seen a bear. It was so cool. So you'll see some photos. There's some photos already in our Discord, but I'm kind of drip feeding those out as I go through them. I must have taken 200 pictures at least. Shout out to my partner who was very patient with me stopping like every like 2 minutes to take a dozen photos. you know,
Oh my
I
God, me at the zoo.
Like, did you get it?
oh my
Did
gosh.
you get it?
I mean,
Okay.
I really do feel lucky that she was so patient with me because I love taking those photos. But every time I stop to take a photo, she has to wait on me, and if she wants to go, she's just kind of so. So she was very patient, and it was great. I can't wait to share some of those. Vilos, I shared in the Demo Duo server one that I snapped right at the end out of my windshield that looks like a car commercial. And I did find out, since we've lived up here, I've learned that not a lot of movies are shot in Washington. For whatever reason, I assume it's like, I don't know, tax breaks or something. Most things that say they happen in the Pacific Northwest are either in Oregon or in other places, but they say that they're up here. But a lot of car commercials are shot up here. And especially during this time of year, everything's bright and colorful and stuff. And so I snapped a picture. I was really proud of it. I'll share that somewhere outside the Discord too. But anyway, had such a good time. Absolutely loved spending more time outside. I've spent most of the weekends lately gaming with y'all, and that's great, and I love it. But it was nice for a change of pace, and it's very, very spiritually refilling for me. So, yeah, if y'all ever want to come up here and go on a pretty difficult hike, I can promise you it's gonna be worth it. Of course, there are others. Just come up and visit. I'll put you up, but it was
I'll
great.
come up in the, I'll take the tram. I'll take the scenic tram.
Yeah, take the
I'm in
tram.
for about 1.5 miles.
Hey, there are plenty of hikes like that. Don't worry. I got a waterfall hike with your name on it. But yeah, we don't have a doc together, so we haven't pre-planned this. But do y'all have anything to blissen up about?
I do actually. So I went to return that PS5 to the person that I had borrowed it from, at the same place that I had borrowed it, like from him from, which happened to be my local karaoke haunt. And I went there, and it was like someone was celebrating a birthday party, and so it reunited me with that person that I hadn't seen in like I don't know how long.
Mhm.
And so he was there with like a whole bunch of like my old karaoke family that I used to have when I used to go around doing like karaoke contests and stuff. And it was just really a really nice like blast to catch up with everyone. Like I hadn't seen some of these people in like since pre-pandemic, so it was it was so nice. I don't know. Like I like
Yeah,
to go like singing to like refresh and rejuvenate and stuff. It's kind of like what you're saying. I mean, I don't think it's as, spiritually fulfilling as like, watching the sunrise over like a dusky mountain in the Washington forest, but like, it like refilled my sense gauges, right? And on top of that, I got to see all these people I haven't seen in forever and just rebond and catch up and listen to them sing. And they have like the most beautiful voices, like professionally trained and like musical Broadway-esque voices. It was so nice.
nice. Yeah, you're like me, where being in a crowd of people is refilling. It's very exciting, and that social meter goes up, and I get more and more energy instead of the other way around. So I can
Yeah.
absolutely relate. That's fun. And singing is
Also,
wonderful too. That's always something I want to do more of. I should find more reasons to do it.
well, oh no, you're not going to be in town. Sad. I was going to say, there's going to be a LAN party coming up soon that'll have karaoke that you totally come to, but I'll talk about that later.
Oh, that's a cool combination though. I don't think I've seen those two
Yeah,
things in the same place. That sounds fun.
yeah, I'll drop y'all a little something during the final word here.
Hell
But I
yeah.
also do want to throw in that I tried uh, pumpkin pancakes for the first time over the weekend,
Yeah?
and they were really good. They were so good. They were a little doughy, but they were really good.
Nice. Pumpkin stuff during this season, I think I used to think that like I would have a pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks or whatever. In like high school. And I kind of had the idea, I was like, okay, well, anything I get that's pumpkin spice is going to taste super artificial. It's probably going to be full of all these things I can't pronounce, and it's going to be it's going to overpower any flavor of whatever thing it's in. And in some that's true in some situations. But like the pancakes you mentioned, like I've been using pumpkin spice creamer in my coffee. Man, that's the good stuff. I've come around. I can't do it all year, but like I love eggnog now during winter. I like the pumpkin spice stuff during this season. Like I'm all in. I don't have enough time in my life to be hating on a bunch of the stuff that I used to hate on. So keep those recommendations coming. Now I just got to figure out where
I
I get
mean,
a pumpkin pancake.
That's the closest thing that I have to a Blissen up today is that I got my first pumpkin beer of the season. So that's the
Ooh.
there we go. It's the Atomic Pumpkin by New Belgium, and as it says, spicy special release. It is like for real. The pumpkin spice here actually like kicks you in the mouth. It's actually really good.
Nice.
I said actually like a billion times, but it's really tasty. Pumpkin beer season is fantastic, and October is just the best time anyway. So
Yeah, October's the best month of the year. October than May. Well,
Why
let's
May?
see. May is just like when it finally starts to get warm. I mean, May's different up in Seattle, that in Washington, than it is in Kansas City. But it's like April's cool because it's really the beginning of spring, but it's not like warm yet. May's when you start to finally get some sunny days where you're not just like cold. Well, where I'm not cold all the time. I get cold so easily. So as soon as winter breaks, I'm just like, yes, I can go outside. So yeah, October than May. But let's see. So like I said before, we do have a ton of games to talk about. So no more blissing up, no more smiling. Fun's over, everybody. Pack it up. Let's start with Vilos here. Vilos, you had a couple games. You sent me a bunch of footage with a bunch of stuff. Both of the games that you have on your list, I had never even heard of until today.
well, good. One is old, one is new. Okay, no, two are new. One is old. So yeah,
How
I'm
many
gonna
are
start.
borrowed and how many are blue?
That is the additional question. Yeah, if we just start the video, it'll start off with a space for the Unbound. That was a game that I had been looking forward to playing all year, I know we're officially in it, but just to cite Benson, none of these are on Game Pass.
Oh yeah.
So, A Space for the Unbound is a side-scrolling adventure with outstanding pixel art. It actually has had a lot of great reviews. Came out like I want to say March of this year. It was very early this year. It actually is part of the Game of the Year discussion for a lot of genre fanatics, and it's up there for me now. I completed number one. I completed all three of these games in the past week. The games that I'm going to talk about. So, A Space for the Unbound, as you can see here, it looks very basic but very beautiful for what it is. It's very close to a JRPG, but you're not leveling up your character or anything. There's no like customization in any way, shape, or form. It's strictly a narrative. You're literally just going left and right across the game space.
Wow, sounds
But as you can
boring.
see,
Game couldn't be any good.
yeah,
That's what I'm
as you can
saying.
see here, though, I only put like one clip of actual gameplay. The other two are clips of the cutscenes, which are just phenomenally rendered. I mean, coming from somebody that just got done with Sea of Stars a few weeks ago, like this is also so gorgeous. It does take the approach to have slightly blockier pixel art, but it's really got that like 90s anime aesthetic. And the deal is that this is set in Indonesia in the 90s, and it's pretty faithfully accurate to the time, to the period, to the locations that they're in. It was an Indonesian developer that created this. Just one of the most emotionally impactful stories in games right now, and that's coming from somebody that plays nonstop emotional games.
Yeah,
As you
that's
can see,
surprising.
as you can see here, look at these two freaking cats on screen. This game has more cats than any other game you're going to play in the next 3 or 4 years in one game.
That's a bold claim.
Yeah.
It's a bold claim because it literally does. Like, if you counted individual sites of all these cats in this game, it would be ridiculous. There's probably at least 40 to 50 cats in this game, and a lot of them are petable. Specifically,
Hell
you
yeah.
name and pet every cat in the game. You get an achievement for doing it. But
Wow.
yeah, so
Last
you're
year
gonna
it
love
was
that.
an airport for aliens currently run by dogs,
Yeah, exactly.
and now it's a space for the Unbound.
Yeah, exactly right. But this is this is such a good game. As you can see here, there are two main characters, and every time I get on the podcast, for some reason, I completely forget the main characters' names. Every game, I don't understand what it is about that.
So the guy's name is Atma and the girl's name is Raya, apparently.
Yes, Atma and Raya. So these two are connected in some way, and they don't know how. You don't know how in the beginning of the game. They are boyfriend and girlfriend to start the main part of the story, but you have this whole beginning of the game that throws you into this situation where you're Atma and you're talking to this young girl, Nirmala, and you're talking about this story that she's creating. She's trying to create this fantasy story. She's writing it. She's drawing about it. This is her whole life. She's like a 9 or 10-year-old girl that's very lonely, and Atma is just a guy that's there and is very kind to her. And you're like, what is this? What's going on here? And the story unfolds really just like you talk to so many people. You talk to dozens of people across this town that you're in. You're a high schooler trying to figure out what's going on because in the first like half of the game, Atma keeps falling asleep for some reason and then waking back up in the school, and he kind of has to Groundhog's Day his way out of the situation to figure out what the hell is going on. And
is
you
it
find
actually
out that
repeating?
not fully. Like things are changing every time. That's the deal. And so after a little while, you do figure it out. It's not a spoiler, like just play the game, but you do figure out what it is, and it's that Raya has powers of some sort.
Whoa.
They're expansive powers. Like even if I tried to explain what it was right now, like she can literally just do anything.
Mr. Jerp was telling me about all the characters in One Piece last night, so I think I could appreciate any power right now.
Like that clip there with the ton of cats in it. They go to the movies, and it's a really cute scenario where, of course, you get to make some dialogue choices, but it's almost exclusively just tap the button and get through the dialogue. You make a decision to go see this choice of films. You can either watch this romantic comedy, or what was it? It's like a RoboCop wannabe movie, and you kind of solidify that you two are a couple, and you find out that she has powers because she decides to make this cat wonderland in the movie into real life, and it kind of just starts this whole chain of events that just like pretty much starts the destruction of the world.
Oh, that's not good.
And yeah, it gets to very anime-ish territory on that, but it's a very sweet story. It's about Raya and who she really is, and storytelling in general. It's storytelling. It's love. It's a lot of guilt and empathy for mostly Raya's part. Her character is just like a sweet being that we need to take care of. But it's just outstanding, and obviously the video has switched to Sunshine Shuffle, so I'm going to switch over. But you need to play Space for the Unbound. It's between 10 and 12 hours. I think I put 15 hours into it. It's extremely linear. Like that's the only issue with it, is that it's extremely linear, and so you have to do everything in a very particular order. But it's so good. I cannot say enough about it. And if anybody wants me to do a spoiler cast on it, I will definitely do that. Just yell if you play it, because it's so good. I played it on PS5, but it's on Switch and PS5 and everything else, I think.
But not Game Pass.
Not Game Pass. Now, Sunshine Shuffle, as you're just going to see this right here, because the videos, there's nothing to do justice for this game visually. It is what you see right here. Okay, Sunshine Shuffle. I got this game because it's a Xavier Nelson Jr. game. All right.
Okay.
That's why I got it.
Do you like him? Do you like that guy's stuff?
I think I like that guy's stuff. And I've talked about the memes on Discord and stuff like that, but this is the game that he said that he technically did get in trouble with Nintendo for, about teaching gambling to kids.
Oh.
This is the game.
This is the game.
Yeah, this is the game. It's Sunshine Shuffle, and I don't actually remember if it's rated T or M. I guess it might be T, but they say fucking, they say shit, like they say that in this game. All right.
The kids. What about the kids?
Yeah. But as you can see, this is
But
super...
gambling is bad.
Yeah.
Don't let kids just fucking shit ass gamble or anything.
As you can see, it's a very sweet looking game. You have what looks to be anthropomorphic animals and blah blah blah. The point is, it's a poker game. Period. That's it. It's about as simplistic a poker game as you can get. All right. So it's gameplay wise, it's whatever. It's about a 4-hour story though, and that's where Xavier's stuff comes in. He's a narrative director, so he writes a lot of stories. And I'll get out of it. You can keep on with this video. It's fine. So the story is the deal with Sunshine Shuffle. It's really funny. It's hilarious. It's a story of animals that got in trouble with the mob, and basically you come in and you are a detective that is getting their story from them, and through the plot lines and stuff.
What's going on with their skirt right now? Hold on.
So this game is technically a classic. All right, this is Akiba's Trip. This one's the first game, Hellbound and Debriefed. So I played this on Switch. As you can see, it looks like shit. And guess what? It tastes like shit. All right.
Can you repeat that title for me?
Yeah, it's Akiba's Trip, Hellbound and Debriefed.
Can you say it fast?
But if
Hellbound, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying held down and debriefed. And I was like, Japan.
No, I mean that's basically this entire game. The whole point of it. Just watching this video, you'll know.
I thought you were saying Akiba Strip. Like
that's the joke. That's the joke. It's Akiba's Strip, but it's Akiba's Trip is the name purposefully for the whole joke. This is Otaku the game, period. That's the entire point of it. It came out on PSP originally, and it's just memery, all right? It's just a Japanese memery game.
Okay, that's funny.
As you can see, this character with the camera is the worst of the worst.
Is that Cortana?
So those people are stripped. When they're blue like that and they have only underwear on, they're stripped officially.
I can confirm.
Yes. So Vincent says this is classic. This is technically a classic, but I'm going to tell you right now, this game made me more frustrated than any game has made me in a very, very long time.
But it looks so polished and modern and new.
Very
frustrated.
What could... Yeah, very frustrated indeed.
I wish I had my best clips in here, but if you watch this clip of the fighting itself, tell me how you're supposed to understand what the fuck's going on, because with no context, I don't.
This looks like
I don't even know who you are.
Yeah,
exactly.
Who are you?
This looks like Tekken 1, like button mashing.
Yeah, so I have a teammate there on my left side that is an NPC main character that's fighting with me. This game has the literal worst combat of any game I have ever played.
And this man games.
And I game. The worst. I literally was punching my bed. I was like very tempted to just like go all out. I was so mad.
You're about to punch some drywall.
Yeah.
Better get that pumpkin spice monster while you're at it.
Yeah. Like, I have not gotten that frustrated at all in any facet. But the thing is, it's the latency. Like, think of Dark Souls controls, how latency is an issue.
Or The Witcher 3,
it doesn't,
where it's like, I want there to be half a second of lag between any button press.
Yeah. This is a game that acts like it's a fighting game with none of the technique or any of the proficiency in the dev side of what a controller can fucking do. Like, and I played it with Joy-Cons. I played it with my Pro controller. I tried. I even used my the split pad stuff, and nothing was better. It's literally how the game is programmed. You basically have to time things like a full second before you intend to, naturally. And even then, the game will just cheat you of things. It will say that you didn't hit anything. It will just stun lock your character from doing anything. there it's so unfair, and there are multiple boss fights towards the end of the game where the boss can just hit you once, strip you down to your lowest level, which like takes your entire defense down, and then immediately strip you again with no actual change in movement, and you die. Like, it's cheaper than any game that I've ever played.
Wow.
I cannot even express it enough without like showing you my Switch and like being like, this is the shit that it's doing to you. But it's just so bad. It's wild. But I wanted to beat it because the second game was remade because they decided to remake it for PC and Switch. And I grabbed the second game knowing that it's actually, like, the internet knows it's 10 times better than this game. So I needed to finish this one real bad, and it's officially a JRPG. So
Oh gosh.
I did it.
So it counts towards your.
I did
it. Towards your
it.
score.
Yeah, I was like, if I can just play this game for 2 hours this weekend, I can do it. And it took like fucking 5 more hours.
Wow.
After that, because it was so frustrating. But yeah, I did it. I cannot recommend it because it's horrible. It would have been horrible for a game back then. I don't know how anybody played it on a PSP. Like, that thing would have been in the trash like a week after playing it. Yeah, but those are the three big games that I completed in this past week.
Hell yeah. I'm glad that you can be the shipwreck instead of a lighthouse, to let us know. Maybe don't go where you have gone.
Like, games don't tilt me. That's the funny thing. Like, games don't generally do that to me ever. The worst frustration I've had in a while would have been Exoprimal, one of the Savage Gauntlets that I tried all by myself, and it was also extremely cheap. But like, at least that was a well-made game. This
Sure.
Akiba's Trip is just, it's trash. It is officially
Not
trash.
good.
Yeah.
Well, that was A Space for the Unbound, Sunshine Shuffle, and Akiba Strip. Hell yeah. How'd you find Akiba Strip? Like, how did that get on your radar? It's not like
that
you
was
don't
on
have
my
other stuff
radar
to play.
because they have Xseed is a big publisher of anime inspired games and JRPGs and stuff like that. And Xseed does special editions for 1 billion games. And this one came out a little over a year and a half ago, if I remember correctly, with a cool collector's edition. It was really nice. So I grabbed it on a whim last year, and from then on I was like, yeah, I need to play this. And when I finally got into it, this happened. But hey, I have the cool collector's edition. It's got a really nice CD. It does have a good soundtrack and stuff, so it was technically worth it.
Oh my gosh, you're good for you. I'm happy for you.
Don't be.
Never mind, I won't be. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. We played before the show. We played some of the music from A Space for the Unbound, so I am interested in that. Of course, Sunshine Shuffle as an Xavier Nelson Jr. Thing. I'm putting that on a list somewhere to check out. Of course, as far as like card games go that aren't roguelikes that I should play, that Card Shark is still firmly in front of
Yes.
Sunshine Shuffle as a priority. I do want to play that here soon. I don't have enough year for the way I planned out. Well, whatever. Too many games, not enough time, and I don't want to take away from anybody else's game time. So Sav, let's hop over to you. Hello. You've played a ton of games, a whole bunch of games lately.
Yes. Like you said, it's too many games and not enough time, and there's even more coming up. And I am eager / anxious to play them all because then they're going to cut into all the other stuff that I have, and it's just a giant mess, and I don't know what to do. I need myself like a hyperbolic time chamber so I could just go in there, freeze time, and then just, play for like 30 years, everything I'm going to get done, and then come back, and then I'll still come back to like being in the middle of a pandemic, but like, at least I'll have my backlog complete. So,
Right.
But yeah, I did play. I'm not gonna like talk about it at length right now. But I did last week play a little bit of the xDefiant demo, or like it was an open beta. It was like their first public beta since April, so it was like super duper. Like everybody was clamoring to get in, and of course they did. And it doesn't seem like they changed a lot about the game except for its performance issues. It used to be such a pain for everybody to stream that people couldn't just. They outright could not just stream it at all. But this time around,
right.
I mean, people were able to like actually, get their settings up to date, up to par, and everything, and stream the game, myself included. I was not able to stream it myself last time. But if you click out of the game, oh my gosh, does it just chug along? So be careful not to do that. But
Oh
anyway,
yeah.
it's fun. It is a lot of fun for the uninitiated. It's a tactical shooter by Ubisoft that kind of pieces all of their IPs together. So like a lot of Tom Clancy in there. We got some Far Cry 6, and then the other one that's not Tom Clancy. What is it? That you guys recognize the stage from?
Extraction.
The Division.
Division. Thank
The
you.
Division, right?
So it uses their IPs together into this like arena shooter kind of game where you pick your faction based on the IPs of the hi Harlow of the games, and you go about your business doing the objectives and whatnot. So it's pretty simple, stupid fun, but that's it. It's pretty simple, stupid fun. People who have been looking forward to the new COD have been playing it because it's got similar times to kill. It's got like loadout features where you can customize like the muzzle, the stock, and all the other gun parts I don't understand, and it's just fun. I liked it. It was a nice little time sink for the 5 hours that it was live, and it's probably not going to be live again for another 5 months. So that's all I have to say about that.
If you guys are watching chat, Odysseus just manually added a not Game Pass command to match our Game Pass command. That's
I
funny.
guess we have to use that every once in a while.
Can we promote him? Is there a way to promote people past pod?
Well, Sid, that was fun to watch you play that very brief 1 day xDefiant. I mean, it was like what 5-6 hours.
Yeah, it was like from 2 to 8 or something like that.
It was cool. I'm interested in hopping in the next time. Of course, I hope. Well, I don't know. A very short window like that is just tough. But I know that that's kind of why they do that on purpose. If they wanted everybody and their brother to play it, they would have done things differently. But I'll be interested to check it out next time. I really liked some of the stuff that I saw, some of the abilities that you were using. I loved watching the story arc of your submachine gun going from, wow, this thing is horrible to, okay, actually it fires pretty dope over the course of the stream. But
I have to find another weapon though, because a lot of the weapons there, I don't know, they just didn't jive, and I can't just be. I tend to be a specialist in all the games I play, but I want to break away from that.
I was gonna say that's just you every time. You're like, is
Listen.
the SMG good though? And then you prove that it's kind of okay, and you're like,
yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have a weapon I definitively know for certain I like to use rather than I had success with this weapon, so I'm going to use it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I hear that.
But moving on to the other games that I've played, I've also played a game. This one actually just started playing today because they just opened up the servers. It is called Project Fae. That's going to be that's their working title, and Fae actually is spelled F, the number 4, E, and it stands for Friends for Everyone. Isn't that so great?
Oh, that's so wholesome.
Isn't it so wholesome? So I think it's also known as Fae Extraction, but right now their going title is Project Fae, and it's in the prologue stage. So all of the stuff that you're doing right now in the game, while it has this like prologue stage going on for the today included 5 days, will earn you what's called prologue points, and you can use those to get rewards that you won't be able to get after the game comes out. So that's really cool. I actually found this game through a Facebook ad, which is so weird. I don't usually like bother checking out stuff that I see through Facebook, but first of all, I found my favorite toothbrush through Facebook. It is called the Burst Oral Care System. It is so nice. I love that. And then this is like the second Facebook-based product that I have ever tried. So I was just
for
like,
the record, I love the indie game stuff that Facebook recommends me because I've gotten the algorithm to realize that I will always click ads about demos and stuff, and so I get pretty good stuff. Pretty happy with it. It's no toothbrush, but
I've gotten the same Leica game ad for like the last 3 months, even though I've already played through it.
Good. They know you like it.
I mean, I guess if they're going to listen to me for the next 10 years or whatever the government's doing with my phone, then they might as well make it worth something, But Project Fae is basically like a MOBA extraction royale. That's like the best way I could describe it. It combines the mechanics of MOBAs with like the battle royale-ness of battle royales, right? And then it's got like elements of like Escape from Tarkov. So like you build up your inventory and then you extract at the end of the game and you take all of that back to the hub with you, which then you can use to carry into future games and make yourself stronger. and if you die, you lose everything in your inventory.
Wow,
So
I've never seen that with a game that looked like this. That wasn't first
yeah,
or third person. That's super cool.
that's what made me check it out, because like I saw the description, it was like Escape from Tarkov meets League of Legends, and I was like, oh yeah, whatever. But then I saw, like, actually watched the video, and I was like, there might be something here.
Yeah.
And what you're currently watching is my first game with a teammate who was Benson, and we were losing too much health to the enemies because the enemies hurt. They hurt a lot, and you have to kill them in order to like get your equipment and like materials for crafting and stuff. And so we were getting like beat up and shredded up by these enemies, and then another team comes along and finishes us off.
Yep.
So I mean, in true battle royale fashion, you have to expect the third parties to come in. So
Yep. Man, it is so cool though. I remember, like half a decade ago or so, I always thought it would be so cool. Like when battle royales were really taking off, I wanted to see more games that mixed PvP and PvE, and we've seen a lot of those over the past like 2-3 years. I feel, and this, what I'm seeing here and what you're describing, I really think I want to check it out. I only played like 2 games, but I actually re-downloaded League of Legends last night. Don't tell anybody.
ah,
It's a
that's so
secret.
funny.
Played a couple ARAMs, but I don't actually need to play like League of Legends. I just kind of wanted to, see what was going on in there again. But this could actually scratch that itch, and I could play it and actually have a smile on my face, because nobody plays League of Legends with a smile on their face. Sorry if you're the one unicorn player who does. But this is cool. When does this? Well, so what are the details here? So how did you play this, and when or where is it available for everyone else?
So after I followed the Facebook ad through, it led me to like their Steam page, and you can just go and request access. Also, I will be posting a link in chat if you would like to get a key to start playing right now, because they do have their playtest going on from starting today, which is Thursday the 5th. For the next 5 days until the 10th, it will be active. So you can either join the Discord, or you can go on Steam and request access. Or if you're watching right now live on twitch.tv, you can follow this link, and hopefully you'll be able to get a key from like the Gleam thing there, because basically they just put a whole inventory of Gleam keys, and then all you have to do is just like follow them on Twitter through the Gleam link, and then bam, you got your key. So yeah, follow there if you like what you see. Currently on the screen, I'm looking at all of the different classes that are currently available to play. There are 5 out of the 8 to be like fully, I guess, projected. Of course, you have like your tank, your barbarian. So your tank can shield and slow with like freezing, Viking magic. You've got your elven ranger and your elven druid, who both use like the power of nature to their, to great effect. I like to play the druid because nature magic / grass magic is the best way to draw me into any game, and it's just I was like, there's so few games that let me actually like become the floramancer that I'd like to be.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And then each character, all the inventories are not shared. There is a giant storage, but they're not shared between characters. There are character perks that you can unlock per character as well to
Oh,
better
did you
help
just
your
get
character.
juked? Oh, sorry. I'm just reacting in real
Wow,
time.
wow.
You got
Actually,
so juked though. Like how did she even do that?
so her ability, the warden that I'm fighting, the elven warden, she can shoot forth a moth that provides vision, but then also recast the ability to dash to her moth. And so she
Oh, I
did that.
see
But
that.
but once I caught on to her though, you'll see in the moment, she's not gonna be able to do that again. And I don't
Is
know,
that
I
an
really like.
NPC?
No, it's a person.
Okay, I thought it was a
It's
person.
another person. No, there are mobs and stuff that you can fight in the game, but you know, uh you only do that to like get materials to craft stuff and level up. A lot of people have likened to this game to a game called Eternal Return, which is an anime game of kind of like the same nature like this, where you have to like find equipment in the thing in the battle royale and go through there. But I've been having a good time with this game. I I've only played a couple of matches of it, but I learned the hard way that if you solo queue into a team, you are not randomly put with random teammates. You are in a team game as yourself by yourself, and
Oh,
it's yeah. So needless to say, I kind of waited out my time, waited for an escape portal to appear, and just got the heck out of there. Because you don't have to eliminate everybody to win. You just have to escape.
just have to
And that's
escape.
what I really like about it.
Yeah, I really like that idea. I've never played the Division. I've never played the only extraction game I've played is Rainbow Six Extraction, which I liked, uh, but it wasn't quite enough for me.
Yeah.
Odysseus and I sunk a reasonable amount of time into there, and it made me want something like it, but I didn't necessarily want more of what it had to offer. But I'm also still not very interested in the Division, even if it's great. I'm just not really into that right now. But I really want to check this out. Also, just because of the isometric nature of it. Of course, it reminds me of Pokemon Unite, because it's a MOBA, of course. But it's fun to see, even if they're familiar mechanics like the NPC, or I mean the playable character that you were just fighting. It's always nice to see new like models and abilities, and when everything is brand new, because even with Pokemon Unite, like sure the Pokemon and abilities may be familiar, but it's in a brand new format. It feels fresh, and you can only see something for the first time once. So I'd love to jump in with a squad instead of getting stuck trying to matchmake as 1v3 or whatever. Did you say the team sizes are 3?
Up to 3 people. You can go in by yourself with 1 teammate or with 2 teammates into the team queue. Of course, the solo queue you can only queue up by yourself, but solo and duos who queue into the trio team queue apparently get some kind of like, if they survive and win or whatever, they get something called like an extraction trophy, I guess, because it's ideal. I mean, conceptually harder for them since they're down a full group. So what they encourage to do is to join the Discord and look for the Discord, or play with your friends. So obviously, if you like this game, download it and play it with me. I will say that for now it is not compatible with Radeon graphics cards. I don't know why,
Oh,
but they
really?
are working on that. Yeah, they are working on that. They're aware of the problem. So if you have an AMD Radeon graphics card, it is currently incompatible with that, and they will be actively troubleshooting whatever the issue for that is. So I would advise, if you have that kind of graphics card, to join the Discord for more to follow up on how they are resolving that issue. Because I don't know what it's about. I'm not that technical.
Yeah. Okay, well, cool. Definitely got that on a radar. That's Faye, spelled F4E.
Friends for everyone.
F is for friends who do stuff together.
4 is for 4 HP. Oh my god, please kill him. Oh my god.
He's 4 HP. Oh, that's good.
Accurate. I mean, that's just how the game's gonna go.
Yep. So what's next? You got one more that happens to match the exact color that we use in our party invite stuff.
You know what? It just means I was destined to play it.
It's about time.
This game is called Splatoon at Home, and I actually had a lot of fun playing it. Oh my god! Like, I did not expect to have so much fun playing Foamstars as much as I did, but I stopped playing for stream, and then on Sunday I focused specifically on like getting some offline video like media to do like videos on, and after that I still wanted to play, so I kept playing, and then once I returned the PS5, to its rightful owner, I still wanted to play, and I was like, wow, they got me.
Nope.
They got me. But it's not just because like it's Splatoon-esque, and I'm gonna be making a video with like comparing and contrasting the differences and stuff about that later. But it's just fun in its own right, even if it is kind of like lifting the premise from like this turf wars sort of like territory control with your insert fluid here like affair.
Oh, geez. I don't say that again.
Oh, you know what? You right.
We'll come up with it. We got to get the marketing team working on that. Otherwise, people are going to make up their own stuff.
Chad's having a time with that. But yeah, it's got like the same premise. Like, when you're moving through your own foam, you move more quickly. When you're moving through the enemy foam, you take residual damage and move more slowly. And the object of the game is, of course, to not paint the most ground as it is in Splatoon's normal modes. It's actually to eliminate your opponents. And that's one of the main differences between Foamstars and Splatoon, is that this is a fragging game. In Splatoon, you're only getting rid of people in the way of your objective. And the whole focus is the objective. And then like you're buying yourself more time and space when you eliminate an opponent. But in this game, you want to frag people. So there are 2 different modes that were available during the public, I can't remember what it was called, like the public party or something like that, the beta test party. And the first of which is called Smash the Star. And it's almost like Team Deathmatch in that you basically are just racing to get the most frags with a little twist. after 6 players have been eliminated, you do respawn. It's a 4-on-4. You do respawn. But after 6 of your teammates have been eliminated, one of you, whoever's performing the best, quote unquote, at the time, becomes the star player. And then it evolves from team deathmatch into MVP / protect the president, right? And then once the star player is eliminated, then that team loses. So after the star player spawns onto the field, anyone else could die, whatever, it's fine. But that star player, you have to protect them. You make sure that they survive, or else you lose the game. And what's really neat about being the star player is that you get an increased ammo capacity, you get an increased health capacity, and so you're able to fight off, the swaths of people that are going to be coming after you, because that's the objective of the game. So you're not just like the normal player with normal health and suddenly it's over. You do get some benefits to being the star player, as you would in any other game with a similar mode, which I did enjoy. But so far, all of the different characters and stuff, they have such personality. There's definitely a play style in there for everybody. You got your dual wielder, you have your shotgun, you have your battle rifle, which Vilos was really attracted to, both the weapon and the character. And
I mean, Bird Girl, come on.
she is kind of, she's cute. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you can't see her face, but she's cute, and she got that Dami mommy spirit that I really enjoy. But there's a play style in there for everybody. Of course, you got your abilities as well. So the abilities not only help you traverse the map, but can also help you eliminate enemy foam. So that's going to be the main way to eliminate foam and increase your traversal around the map. You of course can spray enemy foam with your own foam, but it's not as efficient as using the abilities to do the same thing. And the abilities, of course, do have the cooldowns, and you have to manage them while battling the team and building up your ultimate ability.
This is cool. I know.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
the
think I'd
music
really
in it. I wish
watched
you could hear the
gameplay.
music.
Yeah, I mean, it's got everything that you want in a game soundtrack. It's got, if you're in it for anime vibes and the character types that you might see here, the archetypes are the typical that you'd see in any other shooter.
Yeah, I mean, you got your poster child e-girl. You have your stoic sniper, like serious business lady. You've got your like,
Although your
here
coffee
for
guy is a
justice
little
stoic.
different.
Listen, I will die for the baristador, who in Japanese is called the master. The
He's literally
master.
called them. Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
Yes, and I mean that's a very apt name, because you know what, he could do it. He could. Moving on.
No, they gave the option for you to play daddy, like straight up, and it's not even like a Reinhardt situation. Like I feel like that was manufactured, but the
I actually
barista
do
door
like
is
his
a very
playstyle a
particular
lot,
type.
though. Like the master's playstyle / baristador. It's like very support your team from the rear, like the flank, and you can build walls with your foam that, like, with the geysers that shoot down that he has, and he's got like area control with his projectile that he can shoot ability, and then also his fighting style is like a battle hose, so it's like long range. So basically, if you're really good, you won't be touched, and neither will your teammates. So
Nice.
but yeah, the music is really good. I mean, I think there's a lot of speculation that the person who sings the main song is Lynn of Persona 5 fame, who sings like all the songs from there. Which I'm willing to like back up for sure, because it sounds like her. But there's Smash the Star. If you're watching right now live on Twitch, you'll see that there's another mode here called Happy Bath Survival, which is not a direct, like, one of those like Japanese funny haha translations. That's just the name of the mode. Like Super Happy Fun Time. That's the name of the mode.
Well,
And this one, it's 2v2, like, well, it's 4v4 still, but only 2 teammates are active at a time. And so if you're active out on the court, you get your normal abilities, and you have to fight each other like normal, like you would in Smash the Star, until both of you are eliminated at the same time. If one of you is eliminated, you then have 20 seconds to respawn. So your teammate has to survive for 20 more seconds for you to come back in and be tagged back in. And basically, until both enemies are eliminated at the same time, the round will not advance. And meanwhile, while this is happening, the other 2 teammates are on the sidelines spraying foam from above to help your teammates traverse, or their hinder the enemies. The foam that you spray as an assist player does not harm the people on the court. It just gets in their way. However, it can contribute after they've been foamed up in a bubble to keeping them in that bubble. You also get just generic abilities like grenades and walls that you could throw up to help help your teammates or hinder your enemies as well. So it really comes down to how the assist players help out, because you could be like fragging up a storm, but then suddenly you're cut off by the assist foam and you get cornered and there's nothing that you could do, and then you're just gone. So it's a really, really neat dynamic.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing a whole lot.
I think my only concern with it, I mean, technically two concerns with it, is that game modes. It looked like we had what, 6 of them as potentially there in the menu itself, right?
Yeah, I saw that. So there's two: the Happy Path Survival and Smash the Star, and then there's like the coming soon ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then of course, as far as characters go, we don't know who all is going to be there. There are four. I think there were four as of yet unrevealed characters. One of which is Bublo Espuma, who is the character who guides you through the tutorial with a really obnoxious voice, and
But with a
he
name
is
like
actually.
that, what do you expect?
Yeah.
I was expecting like at least something Antonio Banderas-y, like Bublo Espuma. You know, like he sounds.
I expect like Toad. Bloop, 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 bloop.
Oh my god! Can we please hire you to voice act this character instead? Oh, but Bublo, he will have a minigun. So, because we see him in the trailer for the game, and his weapon does show up in like the Master Salon, which you could see the model of there, and that's where you go to like customize your character and everything. This game will have skins and things for your characters. If you played in the beta over that weekend, you will unlock a skin for Soa, the main poster child e-girl character, upon the full release. It's just going to be like a beta skin. And there will be skins for weapons. There will be skins for your bubble beastie, which is the little creature that like follows you around, and that's how you make your foam. And there's skins for everything. You know, there are emotes and stuff to unlock. I mean, it's one of those games, you know. So you
As
can
you do.
really personalize yourself and your playstyle. You know, express yourself through whatever you're doing.
Nice.
That does bring up the final issue, though. Is it going to be free to play, or is it going to be
Like battle
full
passy.
price thing?
Well, from what I learned in the demo, you unlock stuff via player levels, right? And then there's also
Mhm.
daily challenges and weekly challenges and things like that. So it's going to have that kind of affair, which makes me think there might be a battle pass system. However, Splatoon also has a battle pass system, and I mean, it's a one buy game. It's not microtransaction-y. You don't buy into the battle pass or whatever. The catalog just comes
Yeah.
with the game, and it changes every 3 months or so. Is that right? I don't think that's right. I think it's like 2 or 3 months. It's something like that.
But I mean,
Um,
yeah, that's the thing. Is Splatoon 3 was a $60 game. This
right.
is a PS5, so is it going to be a $70 game?
I mean, I think
That's
what they'll
the
do is they'll launch. I think it'll be the same thing. It'll be like a $70 game, and it'll have like the player level progression system, and also maybe some kind of catalog system, because there are more skins in the game that we didn't see, but you can see their models for them, like in the
Mhm.
Master Salon shop. But we don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll have to like follow the game and find out more. I will say that this game, while the demo was on the PS5 only, the full game will be on the PS4 and the PS5. I don't know if there are going to be any um, detrimental differences between the two systems, like performance or matchmaking or anything like that. I will say that one of the things that I was worried about, and I think we discussed it before, Vilos, while I was playing, is the DualShock 4. I didn't know if it had gyro controls, because that's how I was playing the game. I was playing using the gyro motion controls because Splatoon has acclimated me to playing games like this, like that. And I just cannot play games like this on stick anymore. I don't know. I can't. I kind of wonder what it would be like if I played something like Call of Duty with motion controls. You know what I mean? At this point, because I seem to like.
xDefiant.
You'd be way
Let's
too
see
good
it.
at it.
Let's
Yeah.
see it. Yeah.
You know, get in on the
Real
ground
company with
floor.
motion controls.
Yeah.
They're really precise, like surprisingly snappy. And I will say that the camera is a little more finicky in this game than it is in Splatoon. I find myself resetting the camera a lot more in Foamstars than I do in Splatoon. And in fact, resetting the camera in Splatoon is pressing the right stick, and using your ultimate in. I'm sorry, no, resetting the camera in Splatoon is pressing the Y button, which is like a triangle, right? But then using your ultimate in Foamstars is triangle. So whenever I would use or like try to set the camera, I kept getting the controls mixed up, and so I'd use my ultimate by accident. And it's vice versa in Splatoon. Resetting the camera in Foamstars is pressing right stick, but using your ultimate in Splatoon is pressing right stick. So when I was swapping between the two games, breath. Like I would always use my ultimate by accident because I was still reacclimating to the switch of the game, and I was just like, ah. But other than that, it was really cool.
Nice.
I thoroughly enjoyed this game. I highly recommend.
Yeah. Always like a bright color palette, super actiony, right up your alley.
It ticks a lot of bingo card like slots. It does.
You know. All right, well, that was xDefiant Faye for F4E. I wonder if I'm going to have to say that every single time and stumble over it every single time. And Foamstars. So,
I want you to say that every time, just like that, because just the dismay that plays across Vilos' face every time he hears the full name. He's just like,
he's
why
like,
did
he's like, you don't have to repeat everything every single time for your entire life, right? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I mean, just because the name, which is like F4E is just like such a, like
Yeah.
Fliff, what was it? Fly for Fun, like Fliff, or like Wizard 101. It's like those names, you know what I mean?
Well, like when I first saw it, I thought, I thought like Fire Emblem 4. I was like, did you type that wrong? What's going on here? I'm just like, this must be a Capcom game or something.
That's just that Lee speak coming on back. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing more like battle MOBA royales like this. There was actually one I was going to check out, the one that I talked about earlier, that I downloaded between like then and 30 minutes ago before the show started, called Bap Bap. BAP, Bap Bap. It's really toony. There's like a big ass buff duck in it. That's their main mascot. And it's very cartoonish, like Battle Crush, which is another MOBA royale coming out. So I don't know if this is going to be like the new thing. Is this the new Vikings?
The new
which was the
Vikings?
new
You said
No.
Vikings
The new
while you were talking about the game. I was like, oh. Man.
the new Norse mythology, which is the new freaking zombies and everything. Like,
Oh,
I don't know.
Speaking of zombies, Steve shared the Modern Warfare open world zombies mode. I saw it today.
That's different.
Looks pretty cool to me. I'm not going to buy it, but if it's free to play, I'll play it. But we like our zombie extraction shooters around here. We play enough of them. I would definitely check
We'll be
it
playing
out.
one tonight. Yeah. So
Well, let's see. I played a whole bunch of stuff over the past 3 weeks. So there's some stuff that didn't even make this list, but I tried to keep it as concise as I could. Let's see, where's my here we go. It's a bunch of stuff, but the one you need to remember the most is Wasteland 3. That's going to be the last one I talk about here. But let's get going. First, I picked up Halo Infinite again. We played that the other day. But check this out right here. Odysseus was watching me in Discord. We're hollering. Sometimes there's some bugs. Sometimes there's some jank, but you roll with it.
That's the game. What are you talking about?
If the jankiest part of the game is the death animations, then it is perfectly fine. And that was the only real serious issue. The actual personal issue here is that I tried out some new settings on OBS to try to record footage, and I didn't realize until way after I'd recorded hours of footage over the past several weeks that a lot of it was just not usable at all. The good news is that the game played well. It's just that this game and Deep Rock Galactic, when you have everything turned up and you're moving around, shooting everything, they are resource hogs. But the game was super fun. I'm trying to put more Halo into my rotation. So if you're trying to play those, so many of the modes are fun. I definitely lost 80% of the games that I've played over the past week, but they were very fun. So that was Halo Infinite. Over here, we've got Project Zomboid. We've played a bunch of different new servers in Zomboid. As you can see, Project Zomboid is a survival simulation game that is isometric. It looks like it came out in 2001. It looks like The Sims 2. And it's great. It's wonderful. It is a game that supports mods very well. And we've been trying out tons of different mods lately to come up with new combinations, new modes of things to play. The footage that we're watching right now is when the four of us, the four regulars, Hot Rod, Odysseus, Deadpool, and I, we're just jumping into these servers to test settings. So we were totally reckless, played in totally different ways that we wouldn't normally play, which is very exciting. And that's what makes the mods so much fun, is that you can dramatically change the purpose of the server, the zombie settings, and all this stuff. Our goal here for the community night that we had a couple weekends ago was to make an I Am Legend inspired server. So the idea was that zombies during the day, docile, run inside. If they're outside, they'll always try to go indoors. But even if you see them indoors, they might not care about you at all. But boy, as soon as that sun goes down, yikes. Oh, here you see us playing bumper cars. You know, no matter how much you play, those trees jump right out in front of you. So do your friends. I did on the servers. I did turn up the damage so that if you accidentally run somebody over, like if you hit somebody, they are gonna get really hurt. Because sometimes we hit each other. Sometimes you're flying down the road at 80 miles an hour and you can't see that far in front of you.
That's just life. Sometimes you're driving 80 miles an hour down the road.
You know, you think it's the zombies that are gonna get you, but it's really your teammates in the back 40, just flying down the road. So we had a lot of success with this. We're still playing around with the server. We haven't landed on one server that we love yet. Certainly not one that we've revisited. With so many games to play, this is just in our rotation, and we kind of enjoy that we're not really getting tired of it when it's something that we can always just boot up whenever we feel like. Yeah, it was nice playing with new server settings. We made it. We tweaked a bunch of stuff. I won't bore you with the details, but we made the game harder in the sense of like scavenging for stuff is more difficult. Like it's harder to find any given resource in the game, so you have to venture out and explore more and more. And then when you do find stuff, you're going to need more food and water than normal because I turned up some of the modifiers. So until you just find a huge stockpile of food, which, you know, isn't going to happen by accident, you're just going to be constantly hungering and thirsting, which of course, as a survival lover, I love that stuff. But it really just encourages you to get out and go find something to do. In a lot of our servers, I love like organizing our house or remodeling and stuff. And a server like this forces me to, yeah, you heard me. It forces me.
No, there's the timing of the image was hilarious. Is the remodeling of the house, and it's just bodies and blood all over it.
Well, yeah, we had to move out of that house. Things got pretty bad. Actually, that house that you saw, while I was looking at my map in here, you're about to see me get bitten while I'm looking at my map. And I ran upstairs and cleaned myself off. Oh, I got bit. And I got trapped in the bathroom up there, and I ended up having to jump out the window, which is pretty risky. But I did not break my ankles, which is pretty cool. Because I have done that before. I lost the first time I had a character that lasted like a long time. They died because I jumped out a window and broke my leg. And I wasn't faster than the zombies anymore, so oops. But Zomboid is a ton of fun. We really encourage people to come play with us. We're always playing with new settings, so there's always a good time to play as a new player. I don't know. I think the game's $20. It goes on sale all the time. But Zomboid is a lot of fun. Lots of simulation and survival feedback loops that I like a lot. But the mods are what keep it so fresh. And I've actually taken to watching and listening to a bunch of Zomboid like tip videos or like things on YouTube that are like, hey, we tried these crazy settings and here's how it went. Having a lot of fun with that. So what else do I know? So that server went really well. Of course, Odysseus and Deadpool, who usually kill a million zombies and aren't even fazed by it, they both died in like the first night. Well, not the first night, but one of the first times that we had a bunch of zombies show up at night, because when they sprint, you're not running away from them. And if you try to fight more than a few at a time, you're not going to fight very long, is what I'll say. But it was a blast, y'all. Highly recommend it. You know, I thought I was going to say even more about Zomboid, but I think I'm actually going to fast forward this video a little bit. We have a great time. Oh, you can watch me get killed here in a second. This is the end of our server. We were going to restart to try new settings, so I just shouted and got a ton of zombies on me. So watch what happens when you get swarmed inside a house. I even got a screensaver. I got a screensaver of the like death scene of this because I'm trying to collect like fall wallpapers and screensavers right now. So I was like, hey, me dying in a house with spooky October vibes. Perfect. Calculated. But
these houses really do look like they were made in The Sims, like The Sims 2,
right?
Like, specifically.
There are even a bunch of mods that give you dead. So this is the screensaver I made right there. Was the
Yeah, there was no
So-
way you were getting out of that.
Oh yeah, there's no way. But a lot of fun. Yeah, there are even mods though to like add new skins to things because like by default, some things in the game are like a 2-dimensional picture of an item that you can put on the ground. And some mods, like their whole purpose is just to make that make an actual 3D model and stuff. The mod community for this game is incredible. And here we go for a very brief period. I don't have a lot to talk about outside of spoilers, but Baldur's Gate 3, baby! We played another session. This is us, all 4 of us, very poorly playing all of our instruments because that's the thing you can do in the game. So that's how we started the stream a couple weekends ago.
It looks like you guys are really struggling.
Dude, look at Deadpool
way
on the left. Look at him trying to keep rhythm. Bump, 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 bump.
And he just shakes his head like, no.
We're all doing bad. Look at Odysseus the wizard, second from the right, trying to play this flute by like blowing into the middle of it. It's good
It
stuff.
was so, I can't tell if it's like spitty or not. Or was that glitter?
It's definitely spitty. Yeah.
Is that what's spitty?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
We're all struggling. None of us are good at playing those things.
So is that something you have to like level up?
You do. It is a skill that you can have. It's not, like
Okay.
saying you level it up isn't quite exactly how it works, but it is a skill that you either do or do not have. I'm sure Odysseus's bard character on one of his single player campaigns, I'm sure he is very good at playing one of those instruments. But the fact that there's so many instruments around and there are multiple songs that you can try to play is just a nice, neat touch because that's something you actually would try to do in D&D. So the fact that they added it just for fun, I don't know if anything happens, because Baldur's Gate has been like this so far. I should say, I'm sure something probably happens in the world if you play well in a certain time and place around certain people or something. But I haven't seen it because I'm bad at playing playing the lute, and my character will probably never be good at playing the lute. But we did start we had a friend come over, and my partner, our friend, and I started a new game where we have a paladin, and they are good. They're good performers. So hopefully, I'll see what it actually looks like to play an instrument well.
The Gospel Paladin.
They gotta entertain. And here you see Deadpool kicking a barrel and then himself into one of the mini game hoops in Deep Rock
Dramatic?
Galactic. Well,
Oh my God.
you miss a few barrels and that's it. They don't have therapy in the Deep Rock world, so people don't handle their frustrations at work very well.
Yeah, it's either the barrels or getting drunk by the barrels. So
Yeah. So Deep
That
Rock,
was like Baldur's Gate.
the last time, well, that reminds me that we do have a ton of wine that we need to drink in that game. I want to see what happens when we like long rest at night, which uses your like food resources that you find around. You can use wine and beer and stuff as those resources, and apparently you'll all just get turnt and probably hungover if you use exclusively alcohol to use as your sleeping camp supplies. So I'm excited to check that out.
I'm sure it'll be worth it.
I'm sure it'll be worth it. So I took a ton of Deep Rock footage, but because I didn't optimize my settings, most of it is completely unusable. Fortunately, if I stand still and admire the scenery, which I did a whole lot because some of the scenery in this game is gorgeous, you can actually see what's going on. So we went to some of these levels where everything's very dark and glowy, and I just kept my flashlight off the whole time because all the bioluminescent things out in the world are just so beautiful. So you can throw your flares like you see me doing here, but I love subterranean, I love cave diving in any game. Like it's my favorite thing to do in Spelunky, in Minecraft, and all this stuff. So Deep Rock really scratches that itch of terraforming, seeing these beautiful environments and creatures. And I love that this game, unlike many other games, it has lots of non-combat creatures that just like live around the environment. They don't retaliate even if you attack. They're completely harmless. There's no perk to killing them. There's some fun flavor text if you scan them. Your characters will say various things, like, oh, that's a beautiful blah, blah, blah. And if you like shoot one, it'll be like, I hate killing those things. Or, it's like, I feel really bad about that and stuff. But the game is very fun right now. It always is fun, but there's an Oktoberfest thing going on. So like the hub that you hang out in has a ton of pretzels and beer, and often your missions you can find steins that are hidden, and you can dig out and take back to your ship. Deep Rock continues to be one of the best co-op games I've ever played. It's the game that keeps on giving. If you've got Vilos, you were joking with me the other day that I've had to explain this so often, but this game does not have crossplay except between Xbox and, actually I'm going to pause this real quick, between Xbox and PC, the Microsoft Store. So those two can play together, but even Steam and PC Microsoft Store cannot play with each other, which is a real bummer. But even if you play this game by yourself, I just said it's one of the best co-op games out there. Even if you play this game by yourself, top tier, one of the best. It's really good stuff. Can't recommend it enough. Now, because of the Oktoberfest stuff, it's just a great time to jump in. Please go play it. There's also Deep Rock Survivor, there's a demo for the Vampire Survivor-like Deep Rock game that just released. Odysseus and Mr. Jerp have both played it in our community, and both of them have said that they knew the assignment, like had very good things to say about it. So I'm going to check that out very soon. But that's Deep Rock Galactic. It's awesome. Go play it, or join our community and play it with us. Next, we have Noida. I hadn't played Noida in a little while. You know, I've talked about it plenty in the past. I didn't want to spend a lot of time playing it, so when you start a new game, you can start a normal run. Actually, hold on, let me pause. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm going to replay this real quick. You can start a normal run, a daily run, which you can only do once, or a daily practice run. And the practice run will put you in a random place in the environment, like in the daily run, like somewhere where you've already got a loadout. And here, watch how huge this explosion is. It's so big. The perks in this are.
Oh my god!
I had glass cannon, which makes me have very little health, but all my spells are 5 times stronger, and the explosive spells were so big. I know that I saw some footage on my computer of the nuke spell that I got. Fortunately, oh god, it's so big. The explosion is so big. Like I can't even hide from that bomb spell because the bomb destroys the environment so much that I can't even hide behind solid rock because it's so powerful. But it was really fun to play because I can just keep repeating it. Normally in a normal run, you start at the beginning every time. But when you play the daily practice, you start at one of like 3 different random spots. So if you just keep playing and dying and playing and dying, you pretty much know what you're going to expect, so you can kind of mess around. And the seed is the same every time, so the environment and the wand locations are always the same. So it really is good practice because you get to mess around with stuff that might otherwise be too risky for you to play around with, because when you have a really powerful wand, it's like, do I play really hard or do I play safe, But yeah, getting the nuke spell with explosion immunity was a trip. It was insane. But here we have the big one. We have Wasteland 3, a game that Odysseus and I just offhandedly started. I was trying to convince him to play this this past Sunday, because I wanted to edit videos actually, and I wanted to watch him play it. But then when I was reading him the synopsis on Game Pass, I saw that it was co-op, and I'm like, okay, well, Odysseus, we're playing this now. So we've really been enjoying this because this game is a combination of XCOM and Baldur's Gate mechanics, where you've got a tactics grid and like turn-based combat that can be pretty punishing. You're about to see me get blown up. You can't see it right now on screen, but this is basically the first fight in the game, the first real fight, and we immediately got murked. Odysseus is already down. In the bottom left, you can see that his health bar is blinking red. I have 3 turns to pick him up. I don't make it in time. So in the very
how?
Oh my! Well, he got blown up with a huge explosion. So the game was like, "Hey, we just want you to know that this is pretty punishing." There are all sorts of options to amp up the difficulty if you want. We didn't amp up. We did not add permadeath, which is only available in the single player mode. but we didn't turn up the difficulty because honestly, the game is plenty hard enough. It's really easy to accidentally bite off more than you can chew. Um, but we did turn up some of the difficulties on the like skill checks. So in a minute, you'll see, I think you'll see something pop up. You can select between two different starting characters, or you can customize your own. And then each in co-op, each player can choose from a pretty big list of secondary characters, like party members that you can recruit. And then when you explore the world, you can recruit two more, so for a total of six party members. And so those people that you recruit usually have special voice options if they're in a certain place or talking to certain people. But look here, my starting character's three starting skills are melee combat, sneaky shit, and animal whisper. Odysseus's was sniping, kiss ass, and lockpicking. Kiss ass is basically nice persuasion,
like super charisma stuff.
yeah, and then kick ass is like renegade persuasion. But y'all, when we're playing this, like, I mean, we weren't an hour into the game and already we're like, holy cow, if we'd had a different skill set, this thing would have been different. We could have gotten through this door. We could have talked to this person and had like a completely different interaction with them. Like okay, let me first say this game has plenty of jank. Like right now when we're in the overworld, which shocked me, where we're driving a tank around, where this huge snowplow tank thing that we found and we can upkeep and use kind of in battle. You can roam around this overworld map to these points of interest where you'll either talk to people for different quests or different reasons, or you'll get to somewhere where there's just like a one-off battle or something. We realized that we should not have been exploring out here because everything's way, way above our level. Like, the beginning of the game is actually pretty slow. It makes it like the very, very beginning is a bunch of combat. And then once you get to the quest area where you meet characters and learn lore, the game dramatically slows down. And it seemed like we were supposed to just leave and go fight the enemy. But no. And instead, it wanted us to stay in the town to complete our level 2 quest. Instead, we were out in the world fighting like level 8 enemies. It was pretty bad. We were just getting one shot. But in this interaction, you can see right now, these cultists are trying to attack this farm, and there are a bunch of them. And after we just got messed up at another fight, we're talking to this guy, and we realized that we have high enough kiss ass skill to convince these guys to just walk away. So we use it. We pass the skill check here, and we get this guy's followers to be like, hey, a bunch of us are going to die if we fight these people who just walked up. Let's leave with our lives. Let's get out of here. And so we just completely avoided the fight because we passed the skill check. And there were several other skills that we didn't have high enough that could have had some sort of other outcome. And I don't know what they would have been. But it seems like this is a game where you can very much, like, it has factions and stuff. So you can very much, like, be as Renegade or as Paragon, just to use the Mass Effect terms, as you want to. And again, this game has a lot of jank to it, but it is really fun. Like, the things that you need to make this system fun work. It's definitely simpler than Baldur's Gate, for sure. But a lot of the mechanics that I like about that and the fact that it has co-op is a total game changer. So our friend Chris and our buddy Steve, you'll see on Facebook and in our Discord, when this came out, I think 3 years ago, I'm pretty sure it was 2020, it was one of Steve's favorite games of the year. And after talking to Chris, I talked to him a few days ago, he was like, yeah, man, Steve and I were out there like preaching this from the rooftops, and nobody else really played it. And now I am totally seeing why they liked it so much. So the time to beat, oh, look, I ran out of time here. The time to beat says 37 hours. But as we were playing it, and we kind of called out to Steve. We're like, yo, Steve, you were right this whole time. Because I watched him play this. I watched him stream a bunch of this back in the day. He's like, man, right before Starfield came out, I was playing a fresh save file of this to try different dialogue options and stuff. And I totally see why he would replay this. Like, as someone who doesn't replay a lot of games that have like an end to them, I think this would be one that I would replay. I know Odysseus has been chomping at the bit to play more of this. And I'm trying so hard to get him to not play his own single player game because I know that he'll just cruise past us, past our progress in the co-op. But y'all, Wasteland 3 is good. It's on Game Pass. I don't know where else it is. I think it's on PlayStation and Xbox. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's on Steam. Couldn't tell you the price. Actually, can I see over here? $40 for full price. Honestly, I would say that this game is worth $40, even with all the jank. For how much game is there, how how much variety you can see. I don't know what word I was trying to get there. How much variety you can get in a playthrough. Man, I'm just very pleasantly surprised at what I've seen from this game. So, yeah. You'll see us stream and talk about that game quite a bit more. We have plenty of it ahead of us. But yeah, if anybody out there tries that out, especially as a result of talking about it today, please let me know. I would love to hear about the weird stuff that you got up to in this game. I want to see what a Renegade playthrough looks like on this because they sure give you a lot of options to go crazy.
I mean, I'm honestly surprised that you guys are still down for this after Baldur's Gate. Like,
see, well,
that's wild.
I would still be playing Baldur's Gate like big time if it didn't require all four of us to play a co-op game. And I don't want to play, I don't want to start a new Baldur's Gate game. So this is like a light, lower commitment, chill version of that. Also, something that was unexpected in here, you can reassign party members at any time. I can't control his character and he can't control mine. But other than that, you can swap out at any time. And you can split up. You can just go. When we were in the main town, he went way over here and talked to these people. I went in the opposite direction, talked to those people. And it really gives you this great sense of freedom that I wish more games had. Like, I didn't know that any game other than Baldur's Gate 3 had that option where your co-op team can just like split up. But anyway, I've talked enough about all these games, so I'll be back to tell you more about Wasteland 3 in a couple weeks. But loving it, y'all. It feels so good to be completely blindsided by such a fun game, especially it's got problems, but like, I don't care. Like, it's got jank.
I mean, what game nowadays doesn't have problems, honestly?
Oh, I did recognize a voice in there. One of the No Sleep podcast actors that I like.
Interesting.
Yeah. I always like to recognize a voice, So, cool. Well, that's a lot of games. That's what, three apiece? Well, 3 for each of you, and then like 6 for me or something. That's like a dozen games, Bill. I hope somebody found something that they're interested in here. There's so many ways and places to play, and I know we've got stuff on the horizon. We're hoping to play, since we're here in October. We're hoping to play Midnight Ghost Hunt soon. I might even jump into Phasmophobia, try to get some people to do like a candles only run with me or something. Vilos has tried to get me to play Signalis. I think that's the right way to say that. And there's at least one more horror adjacent one I'm not thinking of, but lots of stuff to play. And if you are looking to not spend any money, so many things in early access, so many demos. There's the Deep Rock Galactic Survivor that I mentioned, which is the isometric like twin stick shooter game. There is all the early access stuff that Sav's playing all the time. And of course,
Wargroove 2 came out today.
Wargroove 2 came out today? Oh, I'm surprised you didn't want to. I would have been like, boy, you want to play that on stream? I didn't even realize. Maybe next time. I would love to see that firsthand. But cool. For everybody else, if you'd like to tell us what you've been playing, join our Discord or hit up our social media accounts. You can find all those at partyinvite.games, our Twitter, our Facebook group, our Discord. And I want to know what your fall games and soundtracks are. What are the games that really give you those fall vibes that you come back to during this season? Same with soundtracks. And what are the games that you would recommend to other people to try for the first time during this season? Because as it starts to cool off, for me and a lot of people, I just want to curl up under a blanket and play some cozy games or some horror games, or even watch cozy or horror shows and movies and stuff. So let me know what falls under that category. In the next couple of weeks, I wanna drop a list of the community's recommendations of those fall vibe games and soundtracks. So if you've got one, let us know. We got recommendations, anything from Death's Door and Elder Scrolls Oblivion. We played The Artful Escape a while back. That one's a good fall game. Lots of talking about voice actors. Man, that's got a lot of high profile people in it. But anyway, so that's going to be it for the show. Stick around and we're going to play some Redfall for everybody here on Twitch. But for everybody else, we'll see you next week. I've been your host, Tegan. Over here we got Vilos.
Hey.
And Obsydianyte.
Hello. Just as a final word, I did want to retouch on what I talked about earlier with the KC Game On LAN party that will also be having karaoke at the end of the month. It's going to be like a local LAN party that's been happening like twice a year now. We are going to be having some tournaments out there. We're going to be doing, I think, an Apex tournament and a Rocket League tournament. And basically, you just bring your PC up to our facility, and it's a big old LAN party. So there's going to be lots to do. It's going to be cosplay. It's going to be karaoke. There's going to be merch and stuff that you can buy from like local like artisans who like create and make all these video game related things. There's going to be at least $4,000 worth of prizes to win via raffle. So like I'm going to be dropping a link in the chat. And if you are interested, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please come on by. You'll get to meet me. You'll get to meet some of the team of KC Game On, and you'll get to have some good times with your friends and show off your PC build if you have like a really snazzy build, because I think we're having a contest for that too. So
competition. Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see some people getting together up there. And thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you again very soon.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.